You remember when we were kids, our parents or maybe teachers would tell us, hey, be careful with peer pressure because, other peers could pressure you to do things that you don't want to do, so it's a bad thing, right? Now, as you age and you become an adult, what if I told you peer pressure is a wonderful thing as long as you choose the right peers? It's the most incredible thing because they could pressure you to do great things with your life that you wouldn't have done if you didn't have the right peer pressure. So based on that, if you think about it, you do studies, you will realize that your friends, your close friends could dictate your diet, your health, your marriage, your relationship, your finances, your happiness. All of that they can dictate depending on the type of friends you choose. This is why today's episode is called How to Choose Great Friends. So now, I'm going to dive into this topic a little bit deeper and kind of process and ask the question that, hey, why is it that some of our friends in 6th grade we're no longer friends with? Why is it that my friend in high school that I played Nintendo with, and I was constantly playing Zelda or whatever the game you played, Final Fantasy something, or Fester's Quest for some of you guys that play Fester, Super Mario Brothers, how come I'm not friends with them anymore? How come I don't spend all the time with them anymore? I saw them every single day for 3 years. I don't do it anymore. Is that a bad thing? We're going to process that. So today, solve for X. What is X? How to choose great friends. Let's process it. Friendship goes through 3 different phases. Phase 1. 12 to 18 years old, this is when we're trying to be accepted. You're in school, you just kind of want to be cool. You're just happy you have friends. Matter of fact, your parents are somewhat happy that you have some friends because you're not a loner, right? You're like, hey, I have 5 friends, man. These guys are willing to be friends with me. This is so cool. I'm being accepted, right? At this phase, 19 to 29, phase 2, this is experimenting phase. You're experimenting with people. You're experimenting with who you get along with. You're experimenting, so you're kind of learning about yourself. And then phase 3 is 30 plus, this is clarity. You kind of have an idea what types of people you want to be friends with, what you like, what you don't like. You kind of have molded into somebody that hopefully at that age, you're somewhat self-aware of yourself. Now, few things that we go through here. Sports, friends, our friends, sports and video games. Phase 2, partying, college, military, you meet them in college, you hang out in college, you go to clubs in college, you drink together, you party together. In the military, you party together. Maybe afterwards you get a job, you got a company you're working at with a job, and one guy becomes your friend because you guys got started at the same time. So those relationships are being started here. And then phase 3, you're getting married possibly. Maybe you have kids. You now have a job. You realize how competitive it is. Maybe you've moved to a complete different place, so you're no longer connected with your friends that you were because you're living in a different phase, different state because of promotion you took. So these change, right? Now here becomes a question. Some people still are friends with their high school friends when they were 16 years old. They're still friends with them today. Why is that? And why is it that some people who were friends there, those people who were inseparable, they can't even get along or sit down together for a 20-minute conversation? Have you had a conversation with one of your old friends and you're sitting down with them, you're like, well, 15 minutes we talk, we have nothing in common. Well, what happened? At 17, it was all day, every day. We got nothing in common. Why is that? Here's why. It's the evolution of friendship. The evolution of friendship is very interesting. If you, at 16 years old, are the same with interests, goals, whatever it is, you're the same at 32 years old, same, you get along. If John is the same as you are at 32 when he was at 16, you get along. If John at 16 or 21, by 32, he decided to go become an entrepreneur businessman or a lawyer or an executive or a career path, and now his friend is also in the same pace, he's changed. He's not the 21-year-old. He's a different 31-year-old. He's changed. They get along. But if John at 21 that was the best at partying, so was Bobby, but at 31, John is now running a business. He's an attorney. He's an executive. He's doing very well for himself, but his friend is still the same and change, don't get along. There's nothing else in common. So this is when you see a friend from high school, you're like, wait a minute, how come they're not hanging out together anymore? Why has this evolution of friends taken? Am I a bad person? Are they a bad person? No. Neither is good or bad. They're just no longer a connection. There's got to be a connection. So this is very important to identify because in life, as you get to this phase, and some of you may be watching this, you're maybe at this phase, and you're kind of like, man, I'm just trying to be accepted. I want a girlfriend to hold my hand, right? And you're going to go through some of this. Some of you guys may be at this age, right? I remember being 26 years old, an Asian mentor told me something fascinating. He said, Patrick, at 27, 28, as a man, weird things are going to happen. Don't take it too seriously. You're going to start really asking some weird questions and have too much pressure on yourself. Don't take it too seriously. And that's exactly what happened to me. Because 28, 29, sometimes even men and women, they go through the phase if they're single, not married yet. Is it too late? Maybe I should have gotten married. My friends got married. They already have 2 kids. I don't have kids. It's all compare, 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 compare. You're trying to live everybody else's life. Maybe your first marriage didn't work yet. Compare, 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 right? So now if you're here and you're trying to get clear about life, this thing should be very clear to you. Let me help you out with what I mean by this part here. There's 3 different types of people that benefits us for us to hang out with. People that are above us in our life. These are people that we aspire to be one day. People at the same level as us and people below us. When I say below, I don't mean demeaning, inferior, just below us. They want to have our life, per se. What are the benefits for each category? Well, people that you hang out with that are above you, what is the benefit? You aspire to be like them, so they challenge you, they push you. You go to a restaurant or party, you're around people that are making. I remember the first time I went to a party, this man invited me to his house party. He was turning 50. I went to his house in Westlake. I'm 22, 23 years old, and I went over there. Everyone pulled up in Ferraris, Lamborghinis, Jaguars. I'm pulling up in my Ford Focus. It was when I pulled up, and I park all the way in the back, and I go inside. This one guy showing me his 2002, 2003 Harley that he had bought, just a fancy Harley that he had silver. I'll never forget it. Dropped it, gorgeous model. And everyone I'm talking to is a multimillionaire. Everyone is a celebrity, Hollywood actor, actress, business executive. And I'm not the guy. But this person invites me, so I go in. It was the most awkward feeling because I got on, people would ask me, what do you do? I would say, I'm a personal trainer, I'm a salesperson at Bally Total Fitness. Who is this guy? I work at Bally's. Which Bally's? The casino? No, the Bally's at a gym. People thought I was working at a casino. So I hit a point, it was so uncomfortable for me, I got in a call, I called my friends to go shoot pool at the pool place in San Fernando. It was called Charles Billiards. I don't know which one. Charles Billiards was in Glendale. Billiards in San Fernando was, I think, Fantasia. Anyways, so I went to this place because I'm like, guys, we got to go shoot pool. I was just at a party with a bunch of millionaires who want to brag about the kind of money they have. I'm driving on the 101. While I'm driving on the 101, never forget this, I'm passing the 101 Westlake. There's a Mercedes-Benz dealership. I'm passing, I'm like, Pat, what the hell are you thinking? This is your opportunity. Turn around. I turn around, I exit. I go back to Westlake. My exit was not Chesbro, Canaan. Canaan, I go up. And I go to this guy's house. I was the last person to leave the house. I help wash dishes. I help whatever. Hey, Jillian, what do you need help with? Anything I can help with. I just wanted to hear what these guys were thinking and talking about. And I was fascinated. I became great friends with them. The guy's son went to prison for 9 years. I went and visited him in prison at Men's Colony, which Men's Colony is in San Luis Obispo, right by Mora Bay. Is it Mora Bay? The big, I think it's called Mora Bay. Mora Bay. It's not Palos Verdes. It's right by Santa Barbara. Real nice place. Anyways, he was above me at that time. This is a man that was making $600K. I was aspiring to be like him. He challenged me. The people pushed me. They changed me. I got a taste of it that day. A former military veteran making $800 a month is around people making $800 every 2 hours. That's a whole different story. It's a mindset being shifted. Oh my gosh. The benefits of hanging around people that are the same level as you, you realize you're not alone. It's very important to be around other people that are like you as well, because you realize if you're married going through struggle, it's great to be hanging out with other people that are married going through struggle, because you're not alone. If you're an executive moving up, it's good to hang out with other people. If you're running a business, it's good to hang out with other people running a startup business, because you're going through the same issues. You are not alone. You're trying to hire people, fire people, funding, running out of money, going out of business, fights with wife. It's very important. This is why YPO, organizations like YPO, Vistage, EO, these guys do very well. Inc. conventions, they do very well because it's a place for you to go and be around other entrepreneurs that are struggling with the same things. And people below you, when you hang out with them, it makes you realize that you have value to bring to other people, so you can lift people up. That feels good when you do that. Now, the bad thing, if you do too much with people below you, they pull you down. If you only hang around people that make you feel superior, your ego goes big, but you actually decrease in your status in life, and you go lower and lower and lower. And if you only hang around people that are the same level as you, guess what happens? No peer pressure. What peer pressure? If I have people that are on me at the same status as me, what peer pressure do I have? They don't have any aspirations. Peer pressure is, boom, up there above you. That's a lot of peer pressure. A lot of peer pressure. Most people don't like it. That's why, by far, the person that people talk about the most is always here. This is the people that we make rumors about. People want to talk about these guys here all the time. All he cares about, all she cares about, all they care about. So now that we have kind of figured out this whole thing here, phases we go through, evolution, same, change, same, above you, same, below you. Now you kind of sit there and you say, okay, so knowing that, now what do I do? How do I pick and choose my friends? What do I do now? What do I do now for myself? Because some of the stats you'll look at, a study was done in Britain. This study said that the average person ends up having 396 friends in their life that they become friends with. I'm not talking Facebook friends. I got, 5,000 people. I reached a max. I have 5,000 friends. Those are not friends. Those are just, it's not even acquaintances. 10% are maybe acquaintances. Some of them are just following because, hey, we met someone, we just kind of hanging out, so it's an acquaintance. But 396 we become friends with. Out of that, 1 in 12 stays with you. So about 33 friends stay with us. Out of those 33 friends, Euripides once said, one loyal friend is worth more than 10,000 relatives. One loyal friend is worth more than 10,000 relatives. You got a lot of friends, you got a lot of family members that are your blood. They act like they're your enemy sometimes, right? They don't want to see you win. They spread rumors. And then you have this one friend that just loyal. He accepts you. She accepts you. You're like, man, you make me feel good, but you also push me and challenge me. And the whole picture you see, a true friend doesn't stab you in the back. They stab you in the front. They tell you in your face, listen, you shouldn't have done what you just did. That was not cool, man. You don't talk to your girl like that. You don't talk to your husband like that. You don't talk to, they talk to you directly to your face as well. You like that. That's the one loyal friend. You find it as valuable. So how do you find these types of friends out there? Couple things to keep in mind. Number one, raise your standards. Very simple. Raise your standards on who becomes a great friend to you. When I say raise your standards, you choose who becomes a great friend that you want to be friends with. The standards comes over here. You choose who it is. And how do you raise your standards? By being selective on who you want your friends to be. So how do you become selective? As you become friends to other people, then you kind of going through it. Look at it as a process of a filtering process. You got to be out there on other people because studies have shown people with larger networks live longer because people with larger networks have more people that support them. Hey, we believe in you. We're praying for you. Everything's going to be okay. It's fine. And you get 75 text messages when you're sick. It's better than when you get one text message. When it's your birthday, they say, I love you, man. Happy birthday. You always made me feel so good. You feel good. You want to live longer. This is why a grandfather who's 74 years old with 5 grandkids looks at it and says, I want to live 10 more years even though I've had 13 heart attacks, a.k.a. my father. He's had 13 heart attacks, 6 angiograms, 3 angioplastics, 3 stents in his heart. He's still living. He had his heart attack in 1993, 23 years ago. But there's a reason to live. When you have a larger network of friends, you want to live longer. So very simple, be selective, raise your standards, find friends that have common goals, that if you have aspirations, they also have aspirations. Find friends that have common interests. If you like sports, they like sports. You like politics, they like politics. I have friends that are Democrats, I have friends that are Republican, I have friends that are independent, I have friends that don't believe in God, I have friends that believe in God, I have friends that are Christian, I have friends that are Jewish, I have friends that are atheists, agnostic. That part doesn't necessarily dictate my friendship with them as much as if I believe in living a life with character, integrity, and they have that as well. That's values. Values doesn't necessarily mean exact religion, exact political party. That doesn't mean anything. It means common values and common interests. And then on top of that, the other thing I would add to that is somebody that celebrates your victories with you, somebody that celebrates their victories with you, meaning when you're winning, they don't always go back and talk about their own victories. Hey, you won't believe what happened to my kid today. And let me tell you, oh my gosh, that's so cool. Instantly, well, let me tell you what my kid did. Come on. I mean, it's like, I'm talking about my kid, man. Just celebrate with me. I'm just trying to be transparent. I want somebody to say, oh my gosh, be interested. And some people can't take that. And some people just immediately want to, that's maybe a friend, but it's not like a friend you're choosing that celebrates their victories with you. Acceptance, be a great friend is what I would tell you as well. When you are a great friend yourself to other people, they will be the same to you as well. In life, look, quantity, quality, this is the one area where quality matters. It's great to have a large network of friends. Don't get me wrong. It's very cool to have a large network of friends where, I had my father-in-law, my sister's husband's father, when he passed away, I will never forget when I went to his funeral And they had to do the funeral 3, 4, 5 different times because of how many people wanted to come and visit his funeral. He was a Walter Cronkite of the Persian community, okay? Mr. Sabatimani, okay? And every time I was around him, he was so kind. Everyone loved this man. He was so kind. He was loved by the world. He was one of Shah's favorite people. He spent so much time with the Shah. He's not around with us. God bless his soul. My brother-in-law, Siamak, I call him a saint. He's the only guy I met when my sister was dating. I met this guy, I said, this is the guy. He's a saint. I've never met a man like this before. When his father passed away, it was very difficult. When we went to his funeral, thousands of people showed up. And my brother-in-law took it like Siamak led the entire thing. I was so proud of him when I saw him. I was watching his entire mannerisms. Like he said, I am running this family, and I'm going to make sure I do my part to represent my father properly. But here's a man that died with a large network of people that cared for him. And he had a group of friends that also cared for him as well, that were very close to him. That's really a big part of life. If you're going to make millions, you're going to make billions, and you have nobody to talk to about, you have nobody to share your struggles and your victories with, it's lonely. What's the purpose of it? You got to be able to do those things. So as important as it is to marry the right person, as important as it is to marry the right person if you choose to get married, it is just as important to befriend the right people that give you the right kind of peer pressure, that challenge you to improve and grow. And just make sure when you find friends like that, let me tell you, make sure when you find friends like that, make sure you keep them for a very, very long time. Hopefully till the day you die, because friends like that are very, very, very difficult. Listen, very, very, very difficult to find when you do find it. So this is my process on friendship. You know, conversations like this, people ask, Mario and I will sit down and say, let's process this whole friendship thing. Today we did it. We decided to turn it into an episode. So if you got any questions about or thoughts about this, comment on the bottom. Mario, let me get our pillow here. We've been talking about this whole pillow thing that team talked about. We need a new pillow. So a lot of people are submitting their pillows. By the end of the year, we're going to choose a new pillow to replace this pillow. We'll keep this pillow up top, but this one's going to replace, it'll be replaced by a new pillow. And you can send your new pillow. Anybody out there that has a creative way of a Valuetainment subscribe pillow with the YouTube logo on it. Can be bigger. I want it to be the same colors of Valuetainment, but I want you to take over your creativity. Whoever that sends the pillow is the best one. We'll feature it and say who sent it to us. We'll thank you. We show it here on Valuetainment on YouTube channel for 2017. We will use your pillow for the entire year. Maybe even we'll show a couple of the other pillows that are on there as well. You can send it the address. We'll put on the bottom. It's 5001 Spring Valley Road, Suite 1155 East, Dallas, Texas, 75244. Yes. Address will also be on the bottom. Here you go, Mario. Good catch. With that being said, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. Thanks for watching, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.